Coming up on DETV News, the governor announces it's time for the statewide mask mandate to end for most. We've got the details.
Plus, firefighters responded to 2 major fires in the state.
And a big matchup for the Lady Blue Hens this week as they try to remain atop the CAA. Those stories and much more ahead. DETV News starts right now.
Topping the news this week is the end to the universal indoor mask mandate. Governor John Carney signed a revision to the state of emergency on Monday. Good evening and welcome to DETV News, your trusted news source. I'm Lauren Wilson.
And I'm Matt Ford. Now, although the mandate has officially been lifted, for some it's still in effect. Students in kindergarten through 12th grade are required to wear masks until March 31st.
According to Dr. Carol Rattay, pediatric vaccination rates are low in Delaware, and state officials say the mask requirement is being extended to give parents time to vaccinate their children.
So this is an area that's important to us in public health and with the Department of Education to continue to work with community, with pediatricians, but also with schools to do all we can to increase these vaccinations.
The extended mandate for students also applies to childcare facilities and will allow schools and districts time to consider making their own mask policies. The Division of Public Health and the Department of Education will also have more time to work with schools to make updates to quarantine and contact tracing guidelines.
All this plus more was discussed in the governor's press briefing this week. DETV's Kaylin Pride has more with your COVID updates.
COVID cases are declining, and Governor Carney says that the data is getting better. On the most recent 7-day average data chart shown in his press briefing, COVID cases are decreasing by 90% from the 3,000 cases just a few weeks ago. Delaware is still testing at a high rate, and hospitalizations have dropped to 237, with 21 in critical condition.
All of these data are getting better, pretty dramatically so, and which is really indicated that we're moving into a different phase now.
When it comes to vaccinations, there hasn't been much improvement. With nearing 1.7 million vaccines administered, Delaware is only 2/3 of the way there.
We shouldn't just say, okay, things are getting better. Positive cases are down, percent positive are down, number of people in the hospitals are down, but we still need to lead into getting people fully vaccinated. Some places.
Officials are asking the public to be aware of health misinformation. This is an issue that has threatened the United States' response to COVID and continues to prevent Americans from getting vaccinated. Be aware of websites that are designed to look professional, and make sure to check with the CDC sources or the health department to see if there's any information on the claim. With DETV, I'm Caitlin Pride.
In other top news, a fatal fire in Kent County. The blaze broke out Sunday afternoon on Main Street in Little Creek. When firefighters arrived, flames were shooting out of a 2-story home with several people trapped inside. First responders were able to make multiple rescues, with 5 people being rushed to Bay Health Hospital. All suffered smoke inhalation and burns. Sadly, a 9-year-old girl and 42-year-old woman died at the hospital. 3 other victims remain in critical condition.
We had reports of victims trapped on the 2nd floor. A firefighter from the ladder truck went through the 2nd floor window and removed the juvenile victim. Went back in with crews from Dover and Camden, Wyoming Fire Department, and located 2 additional victims that were located in the residence and removed.
The fire remains under investigation.
More devastating news from last Sunday, this time in the city of Wilmington. Victims of the flooding caused by Hurricane Ida last year were hit once again, this time by fire. A blaze on the 1000 block of East 13th Street damaged 6 homes that were in the process of being renovated after the flood damage. When firefighters arrived, they found flames coming from the front of a row home and a large amount of smoke coming from the back. Due to the renovations, several homes were missing floors and walls, which officials say allowed the smoke to travel throughout. After Hurricane Ida last September, all 6 homes on the block were deemed unlivable. One firefighter was treated at a local hospital for minor burns, but no one was injured.
Two teenagers are now facing charges of inciting a riot after a fight this week at Glasgow High School. State police said the initial brawl broke out between students in a stairwell Tuesday shortly before noon. A trooper assigned as the school resource officer along with other staff members broke up that fight, but four smaller groups then began fighting in the hallways. That's when additional law enforcement resources were called to the scene. Police broke up the fight and took 9 students into custody. 2 17-year-old girls were charged. Officials say one of them had a taser during the fight. Both suspects were released on bail.
Still to come on DETV News, if your eyes almost popped out of your head when you opened your Newcastle County sewer bill, you weren't alone. We'll explain.
And from 60 to snowflakes, it could happen this weekend. Details coming up later in this half hour. Stick around, we'll be right back.
As soon as I got here, I just felt the warm embrace of the community, man. Like, what y'all got going on is wonderful. And no wonder y'all called the work group, because y'all putting that work in. For real, seriously, y'all getting the work done.
We are committed to creating the best Riverside we can with the community, for the community.
This message is brought to you by Newcastle County Government.
Hi, I'm Dr. Neil Hochstein at ENT and Allergy of Delaware. We've been very fortunate to be protected from COVID-19 with the vaccines, but now we're hearing a lot about booster shots. If you're over 65 or have some immune compromise, booster shots are an effective way to strengthen your immune system again. It's the same vaccine that you received with your first or second dose, and it can extend and strengthen the protection that you've already received. Keep yourself and your friends and family safe. Thank you.
Welcome back. Healthcare workers have been on the front lines for almost 2 years, and the pandemic has driven burnout to an all-time high. According to the New York Times, 1 in 5 healthcare workers have quit since the beginning of the pandemic. To address the urgent needs of healthcare workers, Christiana Care has partnered with national experts and institutions to develop a 2022 healthcare workforce rescue package. It will provide healthcare centers with tools needed to support the well-being of physicians, nurses, and other caregivers.
Healthcare worker burnout has been an issue right here in our home state, and our reporter Kaylin Pride tells us a story about one Christiana Care nurse who leans on her faith during troubled times.
So I've known that I wanted to be in the medical field ever since I was around 10 years old. It was just something about being able to help people that was really gratifying for me.
The pandemic has affected the world like never before, and for healthcare workers fighting on the front lines, many have been battling with the stress, exhaustion, and burnout since the beginning of the pandemic. Like many frontline workers, Christiana Care registered nurse Corinne Smith says that the pandemic has been difficult and has taken a toll on her physical, mental, and emotional health.
So we have a lot more code blues than what I'm used to. There are a lot more rapid response teams that are being called, and having to call the family members and tell them, oh, your loved one has to be transferred to a higher level of care, or seeing more of your patients pass away definitely takes a toll on you emotionally.
According to the American Psychological Association, the role that spirituality and religion plays can help people cope with the distress and trauma.
Without faith, it's very, very difficult to get through some very dark days in the last 2 years. Not only dark because of the pandemic, but because of isolation, because of seeing others sick, because of not being able to do normal things, because of having a job like a frontline worker that sees distress every day. And even if it's not happening to you, you see it happening to others on a daily basis.
Corinne credits her spirituality and congregation meetings for pulling her out of the despair of the pandemic.
When I walk into that building, I know that it's not just me. I know that I have the support of over 100 people that are behind me. So that has helped me so much as far as getting through this pandemic, and also staying in my position as well, because I know that, I'm getting all the support that I need to get me through it.
Corinne recently participated in a nationwide campaign called A Better World is Near. You can find more articles and resources such as this to help cope with the stressors of the pandemic on jw.org. With DETV, I'm Caitlin Pride.
Big changes will occur in the Appoquinimink School District, all because of the bus drivers shortage there. Next year, high school students will get to sleep in later, while middle and elementary school students will start their day earlier. The district had to move to a 3-tiered bus schedule due to the lack of drivers. It means middle school students will start their day at 7:30 a.m., elementary students at 9:10, with the district's 3 high schools starting their day at 8:20. District officials acknowledge the new plan won't please everyone, but pointed to a sleep study that shows high school teenagers need more shut-eye.
I almost had a heart attack. That's what one Facebook user said after opening their county sewer bill. Not to worry, it turns out it was just an error. Here's what happened. The county sent residents sewer bills last week labeled as Q1 bills instead of the usual annual bills. Newcastle County officials were quick to point out in a social media post that the bills were indeed mislabeled. The county clarified that residential sewer customers are not billed quarterly and are only billed once annually, and the phrase Q1 was erroneously included in the title of the 2022 annual sewer bill. On top of the normal costs, sewage bills now include an additional fee of at least $25. The upcharge reflects capital cost invested in system-wide wastewater infrastructure. The fee is expected to produce more than $7 million in revenue per year, but will not apply to residents who receive disability or age-related property tax exemptions.
Wilmington's police department is still trying to figure out what made the department's police boat sink. The boat was moored on the Christina River near the Children's Museum. It was unoccupied when it mysteriously went down. It had to be hauled back to the surface after a 2-hour effort that closed off Beach Street and part of the riverfront boardwalk.
Just ahead, Shakara will be here to tell us what the weather will look like for your Valentine's Day weekend.
Plus, find out what Wilmington has in store for Black History Month. DETV News.
Let DART do the driving. DART First State provides transportation that is clean, safe, reliable, and affordable. Plan your trip and get real-time bus information with the free DART Transit app. Scan your phone to pay your fare with the free DART Pass app. So what are you waiting for? Try transit today. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Welcome back. Well, it was nice to be able to toss that winter jacket aside for a bit this week. But will these winter temps stick around, or will you need to snuggle up with your Valentine this weekend to keep warm? Here's Shakara, let's find out.
Yeah, Matt, it looks like the warm weather won't last in time for Valentine's Day. And it looks like tomorrow will be our last day of warm weather in Delaware with a high of 57 degrees and mostly cloudy skies in Newcastle County. Sunday, the weather will drop down to 37 degrees with some snow showers, and Monday, an even colder day at 29 degrees with partly cloudy skies. In Kent County, we're looking at a similar weather pattern with partly cloudy skies and nice weather on Saturday, but then a total drop in temperature on Sunday with rain and snow at a high of 37 degrees. On Monday, we are looking at an even lower temperature of 28 degrees, but at least there will be sunnier skies. And lastly, in Sussex, the weather will be relatively the same as our other 2 counties, as there will be warm weather with partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 degrees on Saturday, a colder day with rain and snow on Sunday, and the week will begin with an even lower temperature of 29 degrees on Monday. Everyone, please stay warm, stay safe, and be well, and have a happy Valentine's Day. Back to you, Matt.
All right, it looks like I'm putting my winter coat back on. Shakara, thank you.
The Small Business Administration of Delaware has partnered with the Delaware Black Chambers of Commerce to launch a training just in time for Black History Month. The SBA announced the launch of a free quarterly virtual training series designed to give Black-owned small businesses in Delaware access to SBA's financing and federal government programs.
We are super excited to partner with the SBA to offer this learning series to our members and to the community. giving them those tools and resources that they need is really priceless.
The timing is just fantastic. When this program can be now a focal point on Black businesses in America in this region.
The Learning Series helps small business owner Kim Adams become certified in all 3 federal government contracting programs. Kim owns Mountain Consulting, Inc., an engineering and design build firm that helps fulfill career opportunities for people in the community. Thanks to the certifications earned through the SBA's program, her business won millions of federal dollars in federal contracts and most recently got her the biggest contract of all, worth $1 billion.
Just having those opportunities available to us, we wouldn't have gotten here without all of the things that lead up to be in this position, where the finance and access to capital, the workshops and the training, all of that is all part of this.
The series begins on February 16th. You can register on Eventbrite using the website seen here on your screen.
Uninsured children here in the first state will now get health care coverage they need if new legislation is approved by the General Assembly. The so-called Cover All Delaware Children Act directs the Department of Health and Social Services to develop and operate a program for children who have no health coverage. That includes kids who are not documented. The bill was sponsored by State Representative Krista Griffith and State Senator Sarah McBride, who say all children deserve quality health care.
Under what will be known as House Bill 317, a child resident of Delaware whose family income is low enough that they would qualify on that basis for Medicaid or CHIP, but who otherwise would not be eligible for the federal programs due to immigration status, will become eligible for coverage under the state-run program.
If passed, the legislation would take effect in January of next year.
Cotiva, the global agriculture company and seed company that grew out of Dow DuPont, has moved its corporate headquarters from Delaware to Indianapolis. The change became effective Tuesday. The news comes as Cotiva has grappled with a largely office-based workforce at Chestnut Run. Those workers went remote during the pandemic. Cotiva says there are no plans to reduce the company's presence in Wilmington, and some executives would continue to be based here. While Cotiva has more than 20,000 employees worldwide, only a few hundred remain at the Chestnut Run offices.
And major kudos are going out to Delaware's largest hospital system. Christiana Care has earned the badge for America's 50 Top Best Hospital Awards. The recognition was made by Health Grades. The organization rates Christiana Care among the top 1% of more than 4,500 hospitals assessed around the country for consistent, superior clinical services. This is the second year in a row Christiana Care has earned the national distinction. The chief medical officer for Christiana Care said even in the midst of a pandemic, the hospitals remain committed to offering high-quality health care.
And more kudos go out, this time to 2 teachers who received the 2020 Presidential Awards for Excellence in Math and Science. President Biden named Brandy Loloff from Appoquinimic's Townsend Elementary School as the Mathematics Awardee, and Leona Williams with the Brandywine School District was named the Science Awardee. Every year, each state selects 3 math and science teachers as finalists. The winners take part in a week-long series of networking and professional development sessions in Washington, D.C., and receive $10,000 from the National Science Foundation.
If you frequent Rehoboth Beach in the summer, you're going to have to reach a bit deeper in those pockets to park. The Rehoboth Beach Board of Commissioners voted this week to change the annual parking season to May 15th through September 15th. Previously, the parking season in Rehoboth Beach started on the Friday before Memorial Day, lasting through the second Sunday after Labor Day. In addition, commissioners voted to make the meter rate consistent across the board at a $3 per rate citywide. Previously, the price for some meter locations was $2 per hour. The change comes despite Rehoboth getting $835,000 in Federal Rescue Act funds. The beach town had a strong summer season in 2021, with the trend expected to continue into this year.
Just ahead, Nick Alessandrini is here with sports, so stay tuned.
This message is brought to you by Newcastle County Government.
Many wonder, what is a variant? A variant is a mutation or a change in the genetic sequence of the virus. Some of our methods of treating COVID-19 become ineffective. If we were to simply get vaccinated, we could decrease the spread and the likelihood that a mutation would form in the first place. Let's get vaccinated.
Welcome back. I'm Nick Alessandrini with DETV Sports. What a game on Wednesday night for the Lady Blue Hens, who made the trip to take on Towson in a matchup of some of the CAA's best. Plus, you can't make this up, another #1 team in trouble this week in high school boys basketball. But let's get started with the Blue Hens, who are on the road at Towson, two of the top teams in the conference going at it. Hens are looking to extend that win streak to 7 games. We'll start this one in the first. Hens turning the defense into offense. Jasmine Dickey comes up with a steal, up ahead to Michaela Pippin, who finishes in transition. Hens down 2. Now late in the first half, Delaware down 4 when Dickey gets the defender off the floor with the pump fake, then knocks down the mid-range jumper. Now the half winding down when Paris McBride lasers one through to Dickey, who lays it up and in. What a pass from Paris McBride. To the third we go. Hens down 2. Dickey, spin move, hits the shot, +1. Delaware now with the lead, though, when Towson's Aaliyah Nelson drains the 3. We are all tied up. Into the fourth we go. Delaware down 2 when Paris McBride drops one in from the corner. A huge 3 for McBride, lead back to the Hens. But the Tigers would answer. How about Aaliyah Nelson? Another straightaway 3 for Nelson, all tied up yet again, and she is fired up. Delaware, though, would take a 2-point lead, but how about Nelson? Hits her 3rd straight triple. What a stretch for Aaliyah Nelson. Towson back on top. Hens now down late in the fourth when Ty Skinner takes the handoff, creates some space, and knocks it down. A big shot from Ty Skinner. Game not over. Nelson puts it on the ground, gets to the cup for 2, and the lead. 25 seconds for the Hens to work with, down by 1. Dickey, she misses the go-ahead jumper on the baseline, but Ty Battle is there for cleanup duty. Hens take the lead and would hold on after the battle bucket and get the victory, 81-78. What a game for the Lady Blue Hens. Now we're going to head to our high school boys game of the week. New #1 Salesianum on the road in Bear, Delaware, taking on #7 Caravel. We're going to start this one in the third quarter. Mackay Carmen gets inside and lays it in, bucks up 29-25. Right after that bucket, an answer from Isaiah Hinson, who hits from just outside the free throw line. Then Dom Wyatt drives and finds Carmen again, who finishes for 2 more. Then Bucks in transition up ahead to Dom Wyatt. He misses the jump shot, but John Clemens right there to put it right back in for Caravel. They're on top 33-25. Shortly after, a nice find from Amari Gordon right back to Carmen, who again finishes underneath. Quinn O'Hara, though, would answer for the Sal's. He puts it on the floor and gets right to the cup for 2. Sal's trailing 38-32. Then it's Dom Wyatt again. Filthy crossover here to create some space and hits the mid-range jumper. Late in the third on the inbound, Justin Mullen, a quick step back 3 in the corner. Then Ethan Hines finds a cutting Sam Walsh on the baseline. Caravel, though, still leading 47-41. To the fourth quarter when Clemens connects on a deep 3 plus the foul, a chance at the rare 4-point play for Clemens. Caravel starting to pull away here late in transition off the miss, up ahead to Owen Robinson, who finishes. That puts this one on ice. Another #1 goes down in high school boys basketball here in Delaware. Caravel beats Sally 75-65 to hand the Sows their first in-state loss of the season. Now we'll take a quick look at the boys basketball rankings. #1 Sally's will fall a few spots next week. Caravel will obviously move up a few. And now Archmere into the top 10 after an impressive week for the Auks. What a tournament we should have come playoff time. It's been such a tight season for all these teams. Going to be one of the most competitive postseasons in some time. Now we'll quickly shift, look at girls top 10 here. A few shakeups as you can see. Ursuline, they fall after that loss to Archmere last week. Woodbridge also down a few spots after dropping a few games as well. Caravel, St. E's, and Tatnall all continue to move up. It's wrestling dual meet state tournament time here in Delaware as well. Both D1 and D2 getting the quarterfinals underway on Wednesday, with the semis and finals being held at Smyrna High School on Saturday afternoon. Some scores from Wednesday's action in Division 1, Cape over William Penn, 47-24. That's your 1 seed Cape Henlopen. Smyrna over Milford, 50-22. And Sussex Central NCR in a battle like usual. The Riders, though, get the win 34-31. Rounding out Division 1 is number 2 seed Sally's. They get the win over St. George's 58-12. And now let's take a look at the Division 1 bracket. You see it on your screen there. Again, finals and semis on Saturday. Now let's talk a little Division 2. The top seed and maybe the top team overall in the state, taking care of business in the first round, 73-6 over McCain. Your 2 seed, DMA, they get the win at home over Del Mar, 65-9. Lake Forest, they edge Red Lion 36-30. And Laurel beats Indian River 60-9. As you can take a look now at the bracket in Division 2. Again, Saturday at Smyrna, beginning at 2 o'clock, you'll have your semifinals and your finals for your team duels. Nashawn Bones Highland had another impressive outing for the Nuggets on Tuesday. The rookie came off the bench and scored 22 points in 25 minutes, adding 6 rebounds and 3 assists as the Nuggets get another win. They beat the Knicks 132-115 in Denver. For the season, Highland is averaging just under 9 points in just 17 minutes this year. Continues his impressive rookie campaign. Now it's time for our top plays of the week with a little help from Delaware Live Sports. We'll get started at number 5. It'll be St. E's and Jeremiah Stewart Herring, who's going to show us how to throw it down off 2 feet. A little baseline camera here. Herring off of 2 feet underneath, throws it down easily for 2 there at number 5. On to number 4, Jabri White. If you weren't at the SL24, you missed some of these highlights. Check out White. Gets downhill, elevates, throws it down with 2 hands there. How about a few more here on the inbound? Creates some separation, 2 more hands, and another dunk for Jabri White. And then 3rd time's a charm here as well. Able to get inside. Nobody wants to get in front of him on that one. He tomahawks it with 1 hand. Then Stephon Ashley Wright. This is a middle school action here. Up ahead, check out Ashley Wright, who's going to block this one with the right hand. Now you'll check it out in slow-mo. A fan submission here as he comes up and blocks it out of play. On to number 2 at AI DuPont. The Tigers all tied up 8 seconds, 50-50 when Mark Handy gets inside. Floater with the right hand as the clock is winding down. Gets it to go. 52-50 win on the game winner by Mark Handy for the AI DuPont Tigers. And then our top play of the week, Lauren Kim, Archmere Ursuline. You didn't get to see it last week. You'll get to see it here from the stands. 4 seconds, 36-36. They inbound to Lauren Kim. Archmere, she's going to get down the floor, float it up as the clock hits zeros, and connect. A game winner for Lauren Kim and the Archmere Hawks as they upset number 3 Ursuline last week. That's your play at number 1. That'll do it for sports this week. I'm Nick Alessandrini, but make sure to check out Delaware native and former Blue Hen Troy Raider with the LA Rams in Super Bowl 56 this Sunday. Also, Dante DiVincenzo was traded earlier this week from the Bucs. He'll be heading to Sacramento to play with the Kings. Good luck to Dante. Stay tuned for more DETV news after the break.
Let DART do the driving. DART First State provides transportation that is clean, safe, reliable, and affordable. Plan your trip and get real-time bus information with the free DART Transit app. Scan your phone to pay your fare with the free DART Pass app. So what are you waiting for? Try transit today. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Welcome back. Delaware's Oscar parties just got a little bit more exciting. Wilmington native and Tatnall grad Zach Balin earned his first Academy Award nomination Tuesday morning, landing the nomination in the Best Original Screenplay category for the film King Richard. The biographical drama, centered around the upbringing of stars Serena and Venus Williams, earned a total of 6 nominations and is Balin's first credited screenplay in Hollywood. Balin also picked up screenplay nominations from the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, the Hollywood Critics Association, and the Writers Guild of America, among others. The 94th Academy Awards will air March 27th. Wilmington Public Library welcomed educator and activist Angela Davis this week as she shared her legendary experiences and wisdom to a packed house. Davis has authored several books, including Women, Culture, and Politics, and has worked as a professor who advocates for gender equality, prison reform, and alliances across color lines. The event was moderated by Dr. Michelle Taylor, President and CEO of United Way of Delaware.
For the 7th year in a row, Newcastle County partnered with the Walnut Street YMCA to celebrate Black History Month. The event focused on the arts and featured work done by local artists for all to see. The Delaware Art Museum and the Delaware Children's Museum also helped support the open house. Last year, COVID forced the event to go virtual, so art lovers were happy to gather safely with COVID restrictions in place at the Y, where they got to meet some of the artists, participate in activities, and purchase items at an art market. Best of all, entering the event was free.
And art lovers will also be glad to know that Wilmington's free art loop is in full swing. The popular self-guided art loop will include 12 galleries around the city on the first Friday of the month, except for the 4th of July. Many of the venues will have the artists on hand to meet with visitors, some featuring live music and refreshments. 2 shuttle buses leave from the parking lot of the Delaware Contemporary located on 200 South Madison Street at 5:45 p.m. For more information about the exhibits included, you can visit www.artloopwilmington.org.
And if you're looking for something fun to do next weekend and want to keep Valentine's holiday going, the City of Wilmington City Fest is inviting you to enjoy a night of love songs. City Fest continues year-round concert series honoring Wilmington's own Clifford Brown. The year-round series showcases musicians from all over the world each month leading up to the 35th annual Clifford Brown Jazz Festival this summer. Next weekend's event happening Friday, February 18th at 7 p.m. on the 4th floor of the new CSC station near Wilmington's riverfront. The concert will feature live performances from Wilmington natives, including Maya Bilardo and Augustine Macante, and many more. Tickets are available at cityfestwilmington.com/events.
Freezing for a reason. On Sunday, people hit the beach to take a dip in the cold water to support the Special Olympics of Delaware. Over 3,000 people put their best costumes on and swimsuits and headed down to Rehoboth Beach to take a quick dip in the 30-degree ocean, and it was all to support the Special Olympics of Delaware. We're told the event raised over $1 million, making a total of $14 million in the organization's history. The funding will support 4,200 athletes who train and compete in the Special Olympics of Delaware. I love that event every year.
It's really fun to watch all those people rush into that cold water. It wouldn't be me.
It wouldn't be you. It's on my bucket list. I do want to do it. Okay. Hey, before we go, we want to give a special birthday shout out to our production assistant, Rebecca Trainer. She's fantastic. She gets us set up for the show every week, and she
does everything.
Everything. She's everything. So happy birthday to you, Rebecca, and thank you so much for all you do for us.
And that is our weekend review. Thanks for watching DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson.
I'm Matt Ford. Be sure to check us out across social media. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.